Hello. Hey, sorry about that. Just got back in. I had to take my wife had come home for a second. So, have I tried? No, I haven't tried weekly. Um, I don't think it may work. I really haven't looked into it too much. I actually had a gentleman in my Discord ask me about possibly trading the
Hello. Hey,
15
sorry about
or
that.
20
Just
minute.
got back in. I had to take my wife had come home for a second. So,
Have I tried? No, I haven't tried weekly. Um, I don't think it may work. I really haven't looked into it too much. I actually had a gentleman in my Discord ask me about possibly trading the. I'll have to check into
sorry about that.
the higher time frames to see how it works. I typically only use the 2 minute,
have I
but
tried?
this
No, I haven't tried
strategy
weekly.
is absolutely
I don't think
amazing,
it
and
may work.
I
I
just
really
hope more
haven't looked
people
into it
use
too
it
much. I actually had a
and can
gentleman in my Discord
find it
ask me
useful
about
for them.
possibly
And I'll
trading.
just
I'll
kind
have
of
to
go
check
over
into
some of the trades
the
today
higher
that
time
were
frames to
just
see how it works. I
absolutely
typically only use
perfect.
the 2 minute.
I got out on this one right
But
here, which
this
I
strategy
regret, but
is
that's every day,
absolutely
right? If you
amazing.
guys are watching,
And I just hope more
um,
people use it
linear
and
regression
can
channel. This is my anchored
find it
linear
useful for
regression
them.
channel right here. The yellow
And
is my
I'll
second
just kind of go over
deviation.
some of the
Red is
trades
my
today
first
that were
deviation.
just
Cyan is
absolutely
my midline.
amazing. I got out on
This
this one
was
right
a
here, which
support,
is
I mean a
I
resistance level I
regret, but
had
that's
marked
every
for
day, right?
AMD. This
If you
is
guys are watching,
was a resistance
um,
prior to
linear regression
pre-market,
channel.
but
This
you
is
can
my
call it a
anchored linear
support now,
regression
which
channel
now
right
this
here.
has
The
become a
yellow is my
support.
second
But
deviation.
the
Red
perfect
is my
entry
first
and how to
deviation.
use this is
Cyan is my
it works
midline.
best when you have your 20
This
and your
was a
200
support, I mean a
um,
resistance level I had
somewhat
marked for
close.
AMD.
You
This
don't
is
have to have that,
was
but
a
that's what I have
resistance
found to be
prior to
the
linear
best
pre-market
scenario.
channel. This is my
In
anchored
this
support now,
case,
which now this has become a support.
I
But the
got in
perfect
actually
entry
right
and
on
how to
this
use this
candle
is
as it pushed
it
over
works best when you
the
have
20
your
this
20
morning,
and your 200
and I rode it all the way up to here and got
somewhat
out.
close.
I believe I made
You
like
don't have to have it,
400
but
and
that's what
something
I found
dollars,
to
but
be the
I
best
should have held
scenario.
through all of
In this
this.
case,
The only the only thing that would have
I
possibly
got in
got me
actually
out
right on
was the
this
second
candle
close
as
right
it
here, the
pushed
red
over
below my 20.
the 20
Oh,
this
I'm
morning,
sorry, this is the second
and I
close, so I
rode
would
it
have
all
got
the
out
way
right
up to
here.
here
I
and
had
got
to
out.
notice that when I
I
first.
believe I made like
So I would have got out here, but then I would have
400
re-entered
dollars, but
here. I
I
did
should
not
have held
re-enter
through
here because I
all
was
of
already
this
in another
chaos.
trade.
The only
But
thing
the
that
way
would
to
have
use
possibly
this
got me out
is
was
you
the
have your
second
linear
close right here, the red
regression
below
channel,
my 20.
your upper channel.
Oh, I'm sorry,
You
this is
push
the
down
second.
below, you wicked back up, you closed above the
So
20
I would have got out here,
and
but
your
then I would
support
have
level or your
re-entered here.
resistance level.
I did not
As soon as
re-enter
this
here
candle
because
moves
I was
above,
already in
you
another
enter.
trade.
That's it, and
But
just
the
go.
way to use
Don't worry
this
about anything
is
else.
you have
Let
your
it go.
linear
If it comes back and
regression channel,
closes below
your upper channel. You push down below,
your
you
linear
went
regression
back up,
channel
you
line,
closed above
or you at this
the
point you
20
could use your 20
and your
or
support level,
your
your
resistance
resistance
line.
level.
They're all right there
As soon
together,
as
so
this candle
you
moves
have a lot
above,
of
you enter. That's
influence,
it.
right?
And
So if
just
it
go.
comes back and
Don't worry about
closes,
anything else.
you can get out
Let
for
it
a
go. If
quick
it
out,
comes back and
or
closes
if
below
you
your
if you want to be a little bit
linear
more
regression
patient,
channel line,
not as aggressive
or
or
you
not
at
as
this point you could use your 20
little,
or your support, your
I'd say a
resistance
little more
line. They're
aggressive,
all
not
right
as
there
safe.
together. So
Wait for
you
a
have a
second
lot of
closed candle
influence,
below
right?
these
So
levels,
if it comes back
because a
and
lot of times
closes,
you'll get one
you can get
close
out
and then the
for
next
a
candle
quick
goes
out,
above.
or if
So
you
what I would
if you
do
want to be a
in this
little bit
case, I
more
would have got in
patient,
here and
not as
held.
aggressive,
And
or
you,
not as
if you trade
little,
it the way
I'd
I
say a little
have
more
back
aggressive, not
tested
as safe.
with the
Wait for
20
a second
EMA
closed
on a
candle
2 minute
below these
time
levels.
frame,
Because a lot
you
of
get
times
out
you'll
right
get
here.
one close and then the
One
next
candle
candle goes
close,
above.
second candle
So
close, you're out.
what I would do
That's it.
in this case,
And you would have got this entire trade all the way up. And heck,
if you
it
trade
hasn't
it
actually
the
done
way
much
I
more the
have
whole day.
back
It's just went
tested
sideways.
with
So
the
it would have been
20
an
EMA
absolute
on a 2 minute
perfect trade.
time frame.
Um,
You get out right here.
the
One
let's
candle
see,
close,
SPY
second candle close,
or
you're
not
out.
SPY, SMCI.
And
SMCI was crazy this morning.
It
Would have been
hasn't actually done much more
a
than
great
back
trade to
tested
catch
sideways.
right
So
here.
it would have been
What I start
absolute
also what I start
perfect
looking
trade.
for is
You get out
when you have your linear regression up and market opens. If you get a candle that goes goes down really fast, don't hop in the first candles, because a lot of times what happens is exactly this.
would have been
You'll see it come down,
a great trade,
and this gives you
right
your
here.
confirmation that
What I
okay, we're
start
going to look
also what I
maybe
start
for
looking
upside.
for
So once you get this big wick up
when
and
you have
push
your
off
linear
of this
regression
bottom
up
LRC
and
level,
market opens. If you
and
get a
that may have
candle that goes
also
way,
been
goes down really fast,
that's
don't hop
close
in
to
the first
915,
candles,
so
'cause a
you
lot of
could have
times what
called
happens
that
is
a
exactly this.
maybe a support level at 915. I think it was really 920, but I'll put that level in as well so you can see that.
Push off of this bottom LRC level.
Came down, wicked back up above this linear regression line. Once it cleared the 200 and closed, this would be your buy-in candle right here. As soon as this candle opened above this may make you FOMO out, because if this happened and then it went way down, you would, in SMCI, you'd be down probably $1,000 with one contract, maybe $700-800 with one contract. But if you waited for this candle to finish, your confirmation would absolutely be upside. If you waited for a close below the 20 or back below this LRC line, look what you could have got straight from 9. Let's say you got in right here at 935. You could have got out of anywhere in the 960, 65, 970 range and just banked. So this is extremely powerful. It's so, to me, it's the most simple system I've ever used. I've used a lot. I've used a lot of indicators. I'm now just removing indicators off of my charts for the most part and sticking with these. The 50, I have the 50 on here. I'm going to remove it. I don't really use the 50 for this strategy. I use the 50 for paying attention to NASDAQ and ES, because NASDAQ and ES does. NASDAQ and ES both respect the 50 EMA or SMA pretty well. If you go back and back test, you'll notice that NASDAQ will pull down. A lot of pullbacks. It pull down. It'll go down to the 50, wick up, and go for the next time. Come back down. By that time, the 50's moved up. It'll come back down, hit the 50, and wick up. And if you get a break below the 50, and it'll come back up and retest a lot of times, and then push down for a down move on the market, and vice versa. So here's another entry for Google. You had some down movement. You're above your 20, above your 200. This would have been I probably would have waited for this candle to close and then taken this one. So I would have got in immediately right after it moved above the close of this big candle here. I would have taken or scaled off at the LRC. I do use the second deviation and the first deviation, depends on where the price is coming from. I will use these as my scale out levels, because a lot of times you'll have it wick back down off of this, and then sometimes maybe go down. You don't really know what's going to happen, but the consolidation is key here. 175 is a resistance level, so another reason to scale out. I may have got out completely on this big push right here on Google, and then just waited for another re-entry, which would have been here. I probably wouldn't have got in on this candle above the LRC, because of this being such a big resistance level. What I would have done is I would have waited for this retest, which was beautiful. Came down, wicked back down, right dead on the LRC line, pushed up. At this point, I would have got in right here on this candle, and then held it all the way to here and got out right here. So it's very simple. The best part about this is risk to reward. So I do combine it with break and retest strategies over major support resistance levels, but I use it a lot of times. What I find is the LRC may not even be near the support resistance levels, but I get amazing, great breakout moves and pretty good trendy moves. But I definitely use it in conjunction with the support resistance. I make sure, like, for instance, this specific thing, I will take profit when I reach. This will be my target, right? And then if it gets above it, then I look for another pullback and a move up. Let's see. SPY. Let's check out SPY. I made several trades on SPY, but it was just scalps with SPX. Perfect time right here. This is it. This is where you enter. Right here. You could take this as a breakout move. I know we didn't get this close over the 200, but once it cleared this consolidation to the right, I would have got in this and I would have just got out right away if it had reversed and went back down. But you get in and you hold and you wait. You could hold through this consolidation. Of course, this 530 area, you can see it hit it, but once it consolidated this consolidation, and then you could get out as soon as you get here, take all profit, and then just wait for the next move above this line or above these. I mean, of course, you don't know if it's going to go here or not, but that's okay. Get out, take your profit, wait for a push up, and then a move back. Look at the market. There must be some news coming in right now. And what you'll notice is the LRC becomes a pretty significant level throughout the day, all day for most stocks. Some stocks will ignore it sometimes, but for the most part, it's always, look right here, boom, straight down to the LRC, comes up, comes back down, kind of in this area. And remember that this is a level, like it's an area, it's not exactly a line. You know, so always keep that in mind. This isn't a precise line that you're dealing with. You're dealing with a, let's say, I don't know, couple 5 cents, 10 cents above on SPY, 10 cents below, whatever. Oh, look at this move down. That's a huge gap down. This is going to keep going. When you get a gap down like that, that's telling you the sellers have absolutely stepped in hardcore. Let's see how far down this goes. See if it gets to our bottom level or wicks back up off right here. It had a pretty hard stop right there. It's getting bought back up really fast. When you get a gap down like that, we'll just watch and see how this works. But I wouldn't have, I don't know that anyone would have known to take this really, because of the way the market was moving up today. This is just you're lucky if you got in this, even though it went past the two, it just went too fast. You know, that one candle's, that's a lot. But I wouldn't have, I don't know. So when you have the market doing this, it's tough to trade, except for like if you wanted to grab an SPX and try to make a couple $100, you could, but you could also lose a few $100 right there. So you have to be really careful. I mean, you could trade SPY the same way, and I typically trade SPX when I get into moves like this that I want to scalp some quick money. Today was only about a $600, almost $700 day for me, but I should have had a lot more. I just got out way too early on AMD, on a couple SPX calls that I got in. But for me, that's kind of the way I trade SPX. Today was only about I trade SPX on I just scalp. I guess I've learned my lesson. I've tried to go for the big moves, which I got occasionally. But whenever you get any little turnaround, you immediately lose all your profit and end up with a loss. I just scalp. But yeah, look at this. I guess I've learned my lesson. Market is giving back the entire day. Big moves, which I got as of it opened here. You get any little turnaround, so it's already given back the entire day. That is interesting. I guess I've learned my lesson. Market is giving back. I figured that there would be a gap fill, right? Just because of what took place. Right? Let me go to the 5 minute. It's already given back the entire day. I mean, you're probably going to fill this gap from here. I'd say like 529 level. Would be a gap fill, right? Just because of probably. There's no telling. It could come all the way back down to fill this gap that was created. Down at 524, that'd be a huge move down. I doubt that's happening. But okay, you can see right now on the 5 minute chart, it is wicking right off my one deviation, and let's see if that becomes a move back up down at 524. That'd be a huge move down. I wouldn't trade this into the 200 though, or the 20. I have to be
right now
above the 20 to
the
trade
5-minute
call,
chart,
above the 200 to trade
wicking right
trade
off
calls, or
my
below
one
the
deviation.
200 to trade
Let's see if that becomes
puts. A move back up, and that's on a 2-minute chart, not the 5-minute. As you notice, the 5-minute changes where your MAs change. Above the 20 to trade call, based off your time frame, trade calls, or below the 200 to trade puts. A move back up, and that's on a 2-minute chart, not the 5-minute. As you notice, the 5-minute changes where your MAs change. Above the 20 to trade call, based off your time frame, trade calls, or below the 200 to trade puts. And that's on a 2-minute chart, not the 5-minute. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I think I only have a couple people watching. I just starting live. Hopefully this is coming over okay as well. This is my first actual like real live. The others were recorded and then I uploaded. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I think I only have a couple people watching. I just starting live. Hopefully this is coming over okay as well. This is my first actual like real live. The others were recorded and then I uploaded. If you guys have any questions, feel free. So just looking at market structure here, what I would look for is probably a retracement back up, probably around the LRC line, which is going to align proportionally with these low wicks here. Somewhere in this range, it could be down or up right in there. Just looking at market structure, and then a push back down is probably a retracement. Of course, that's just a guess, but with this huge move down, did have a lot of buyers step in right here, which there must have been some big buyers set up around the 529.50 area. Just looking at market structure, and then a push back. Let's see if they get taken out, or if it has continuation back up to the upside. Did have a lot of buyers step in right here, which there must have been some big buyers set up around the 529.50 area. And then a push back. Let's see if they get taken out. I'm expecting a little bit more up, and then some down. Continuation back up to the upside. Did have a lot of buyers step in right here, which there must have been some big buyers set up around the. I'm actually looking at a grid. Let me show you that. This is what I use on my other monitors to find trades. Expecting a little bit more up, and then some down. I don't have the second deviation on these. I think I'm going to convert them. This is my original anchored LRC, and I just kind of left it like that because it's working just fine for me. It gives me a visual of what's taking place in the morning. I look for. I don't have the second deviation. I look for the 200 and the 20 to be close at pre-market for my best moves or best setups. My Qs were set up quite nice. They did spread pretty good before market open. But when it's coming together towards market open, that's usually the best moves. Is that the only thing? No, it just seems to be the best. So just something to consider, take a look at. You can look at it, back test it as well, and see if you see anything else that may influence or give you a better entry. So this, let's see, Nvidia had a really tight 200 and 20 this morning, and when the price busted across, this was perfect entry right here, right above the close of that green, or above the midline, above the 200, above the 20. It's like a no-brainer. You get in, let it go, take profit wherever you feel necessary. You can wait for big levels if you're someone that likes to hold longer, or if you want to just get a certain amount of profit, at least to scale off at the LRC when it hits that. scale most of your contracts if you're trading options, and then allow see what happens. If it starts pulling back below it, just go ahead and take all your get out of all of your positions and take your profit and move on. It's truly that simple. Look at Apple setting up right here. The 20 to 200. We are right now. Price is kind of pushing down below the LRC. Midday like this, though, sometimes you just you should already be finished, right? Hopefully, if you're trading this, you catch it, early on within the first 10, 15 minutes. Is what I've found. That's when I do the best with this strategy. It does work great late day, but you have to just be concerned with consolidation and stuff, especially after news days. When you get news days, you really, this happens a lot. You'll get moves, and then everything just kind of goes sideways, and that's been happening, the last week or so for us. So just be careful trading late in the day. Maybe go ahead and just head on out and go do something else productive. Hang out with the family, or do some, study some levels and such. But it's not a great idea to try to day trade and during the afternoon. When you have a day like today where we had big move up in the market and all the news, because it almost always goes stagnant and just goes sideways, and that'll chop you up, and you end up losing what you made during the morning. So it's best to just not trade, sit on your hands. That's why I decided to do a live of what was happening now, and to show some of the options with this strategy that you could have utilized this morning. It'll be interesting to see what happens here on Apple. I'm going to go to the larger chart. Sit on your hands. That's why I decided to do a live of what was happening now, and to show some of the options with this strategy that you could have utilized this morning. Yeah, Apple will be, it looks like it's done this already once or a couple times, right? Came down, hit the LRC, and then went back up. So I wouldn't trust this at all. I wouldn't trust a move down until you cleared this. I would probably wait to clear this level right here. Yeah, Apple will be around 189 or 190's up here. Right? I know 190's a big level for Apple, but it looks like I think I would make sure I cleared the bottom of this candle before I even got in. And I know that's a huge move, right? But I just don't trust this. It could do this and then shoot right back up just like it did here and here for Apple, but it looks like. So to me, it's a no trade. I think I would make sure I cleared. Others, it may be a trade before I even got in. And I know that's a huge move, right? But I just don't trust this. It could do this and then shoot right back up just like it did here and here for Apple, but it looks like. So to me, it's a no trade. Trend trader, do you have any questions, or have you looked at the on the weeklies or daily? I know that's a huge move, right? But are you still in? Trust this. It could do this and then shoot right back up just like it did here and here for Apple, but it looks like. So to me, it's a no trade. Trend trader, do you have any questions, or have you looked at the on the weeklies or daily? I know that's a huge move, right? But are you still in? Trend trader. Go back and look at the SPY. Questions, or have you looked at the on the weeklies? So SPY came down, waked up off of this one, waked up back up off of that one, and is now pushing back off of this. I would still expect maybe a continuation down because there was just so much upside yesterday. It's probably going to try to fill some of the gaps. So SPY came down. Now that we've had quite a good run this morning, but look at this ugly move down. I bet a lot of people lost a lot of money right here
Probably gonna try
because
to
they
fill
saw
some of the
this and
gaps.
they were like, oh, I'm going to continue. I'm going to get in again right here. Oof.
Now that
Miss.
we've had
Oh, I'm going
quite
to
a
get
good
in here.
run this morning,
Oof.
is now pushing
Lose it.
Look at this.
Here,
Ugly.
lose it.
I would say
So
ugly move
people are
down.
still looking for the upside move. You just have to be really careful once you have had really big moves.
They saw this and they were
Don't
like,
get me
"Oh, I'm
wrong,
gonna
you
continue.
can
I'm gonna
always
get in
get
again right here."
continuation and a move up, but
Now that we've had
you know, at
I'm
some
gonna
point
get in
you
here.
just have to say enough is enough and
Here,
move on and
lose
wait
it.
for the next
So
day and wait for new
people
setups.
are still looking for the upside move.
You just have to be really careful once you've had really big moves.
They saw this and they were
Don't
like,
get me
"Oh, I'm
wrong,
gonna
you
continue.
can
I'm gonna
always
get
get
in again right here."
continuation and a move up. You know,
This is
at some
interesting,
point
isn't
you
it?
just have to These were our support
say
and
enough is
resistance
enough
just a
and
couple
move on
days
and
ago.
wait for the next day and wait for new setups.
Look at where we're at.
For the upside move, you just have to be really careful. Once the day,
Pretty impressive.
They saw this. And don't get me wrong, you can always get continuation and a move up.
This is interesting, isn't it? These were our support
Say
and
enough is
resistance
enough
just a
and
couple
move on
days
and
ago.
wait for the next day and wait for new setups.
Look at where we're at.
For the upside move, you just have to be really careful. Once the day,
Pretty impressive.
don't get me wrong, you can always get continuation and a move up.
This is interesting, isn't it? These were our support and resistance just a couple days ago.
For the next day and wait for new setups.
Look at where we're at. So you could look at between 530, 80 and 530. Actually, by 531. I would probably use 531 as my new resistance level to get over. Yeah, definitely.
So you would look
The
at
problem is we're in uncharted territories, right?
530,
So we're at
80,
all-time highs.
530.
And what I do for all-time highs
I would probably use
is
531 as my new resistance.
I'll show you
level
what
to
I
get
have
over.
drawn in here. Let me go to my 5-minute. Yeah, definitely.
So you would look
The
at
problem is we're in uncharted territory. So
right?
this is what
So
I
we're at
put in
all-time
for a
highs.
potential continuation
what I
move.
do for all-time highs.
This would be a 38%, a 50%, or 61%. Now this was based off of a 1-hour chart.
The problem is we're in uncharted.
So what I did is I put in for a
all-time highs.
potential continuation
What I
move.
do for
In
all-time
TOS,
This would be
I put in your
38%,
retracement, which is from here,
a 50%
from this high
or
to
61%.
this high.
Now this was
This
based
would be
off
the
of
pullback.
a 1-hour
This
chart.
whole region will be the pullback, 38.2%. So
So what I did is I put
527.93 may be the first target and then bounce.
in TOS.
The 50% is at 527. I really look for it to get to at least to there, or maybe wick below and then move up. But that's an adequate retracement, and you're still in an uptrend. So you could come all the way down to the 628 or 61.8, which is the 526.09. And then I used the extension tool, and I don't know if you know this, but if you put your extension tool here and you go to your high, and then you click again, you double click on your high, it'll give you your upper range. It's almost like a projected move. So
the extension tool, and I don't know
I
if you know
charted
this,
that
but if you put your
here.
extension tool here,
So
and
this
you
is
go
what
to
I'm
your high,
expecting
and then you
over
click
the.
again, you
Of
double
course,
click
it
on your
could be
high,
the next
it'll
few
give
weeks
you
or next
your
week, whatever.
upper
If we
range.
get continuation to the upside,
It's
we'll
almost
probably
like
have a
projected-
pullback,
a projected move.
eventually get a push up to here. So that'll just be my next target. You
I
know,
charted that.
take profit areas.
Here.
Once
So this
once
is
we
what
get a
I'm
move that
expecting.
pushes back up.
Over the-
Of course, we have to
could be the
clear
next
the
few
high a
weeks
day,
or next
which will
week,
then become
whatever.
another level.
If we get continuation
Because
to
we're in
the
uncharted
upside,
territory,
we'll probably have a pullback.
Psych levels like
eventually get a push up
531,
here, so that'll just
532,
be the next
533.
target. You know,
Probably
taking
your whole
that,
numbers are
take
going to be
profit
pretty significant
Once we get a move
on a
that-
lot of
that
the
pushes
stocks
back
that have
over,
made
of course,
higher
we'll have
days
to
or
clear the
all-time
high
highs,
day or next
which will
week,
then become
whatever.
another level.
If we get continuation
Because
to
we're in
the
uncharted
upside,
territory. I think that's about all. I don't see any questions. I know I only have a couple people watching at the moment, but if others come in and you have any questions, just put them in the comments. And you can also join me on my Discord. The Discord link is in the description. So you're welcome to come in and join
I think
join in
that's about
Discord.
all. I don't see
And
any questions.
I
know we
do
have a couple
I
people
do
watching at the
occasionally
moment,
I will
but
come in
if
and
others come
trade
in or you
live,
have any
and not, I don't
questions,
show
just put them in the
charts or anything,
comments.
but I
You
will
can also
make
join
call
me on my
outs of what I'm
Discord.
seeing, what
The
I'm
Discord
actually
link is
buying,
in
and
the description. So you're
then
welcome to come in and join.
you know,
I
and
think
we
that's
just
about
we
all.
collaborate
I don't
on
see
what's
any
going on,
questions. I do.
and you know,
I
it's
do
nice to have a
occasionally.
group of
I will
people
come in
to
and
all,
trade
you know, some
live,
people
and
may see
I
something
don't show
setting up.
charts or anything, but I can also
Each of
call
us sees
out
something
what
that the
I'm
other doesn't
seeing,
see, so
what
it
I'm
kind of
actually
it helps.
buying,
So if you're interested,
and
you're welcome to come in, join the community.
you know, we just have
So
to
I am
collaborate
going
on what's
to
going on. And
close
you know,
out
you know,
my
it's nice to have a group of
stream,
people
and
to
hope
all,
you guys are
some
green
people may see
today. I
something
hope
setting up.
that this has helped a
Each
little
of us
bit.
sees something that the other
Again,
doesn't
if you
see,
have
so
any
it
questions,
kind
feel
of
free to
helps.
ask in the
So
comments,
if you're
or
interested,
you can
you're
ask
welcome
in
to
my
come in,
Discord.
join the
But if you
community.
don't mind, please give me a like and a subscribe
So I am going
if you like. You know,
close out
if I'm
stream,
if I'm
and
worthy,
hope you
so to
guys
speak.
enjoyed today.
And if there's any comments
This has helped a
about,
little bit.
you know,
Again,
if I
if
can
you have any
improve on
questions, feel free
anything,
to ask in
sound
the
or whatever,
comments. You're interested,
please let me
ask
know.
in my Discord.
And
But if you don't
I'll
mind,
see you
please give me
guys
a like and
tomorrow.
subscribe.
Have a
If
great
you,
day. Stay green.
like, you know,
If I'm
stream,
if I'm worthy,
hope you
so to
guys
speak.
enjoyed today.
And if there's any comments
This has helped a
about,
little bit.
you know, if
Again,
I
if
can
you have any
improve on
questions, feel free
anything.